Who's more patriotic, Democrats or Republicans? I was on YouTube and I was watching Jubilee. They was doing one woke Republican, no, one woke Democrat versus 20 Republicans. So y'all know those things, they usually be pretty interesting. But yeah, the dude was going at 20 Republicans and he made a statement saying that the Democrats are more patriotic than the Republicans. And I just can't believe that. I don't believe that whatsoever. The Democrats are not more patriotic than the Republicans. And if you ask me, the Republicans are not more patriotic than the Democrats. They're both very corrupt. They both have stuff that's really wrong about them. But I will leave my opinion for the end. I would rather go ahead and just review what everyone else had to say about it, and then I'll give my review at the end. I think he goes up against like 3 or 4 people, so yeah, it should be a good video to see why does he think that the Democrats are more patriotic than the Republicans. I honestly can't believe it. Let's go ahead and get right into that.
To policy, but this is also considering the policy that he wants to enact. Thanks for the conversation, man. My next claim is Democrats are more patriotic than Republicans.
I'm sorry, I'll let you go next.
Oh, they running up here.
I would love to talk to him. Hey, welcome back, Dad.
Okay, just for everyone's sake, I want you to tell me why you support your claim, and then I'll leave, and people can yap at you. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I like this guy. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So yeah, I think that Democrats are more patriotic than Republicans because Republicans are currently platforming Donald Trump. And Donald Trump had attempted to launch a coup on our federal government in an attempt to overturn and rig the results of the 2020 election. And there's 4 reasons I say this. The first reason I say this is Donald Trump capitalized on the January 6 riots to pressure Senate in to postpone the votes. The second reason I say this is because Donald Trump sent fake slates of electorates to 7 different states to cast fake certificates of ascertainment into college to be certified as real by Mike Pence. The third reason I say this is because, well, he pressured Mike Pence into signing those fake certificates of ascertainment. And the fourth reason I say this is, well, this process of trying to circumvent our civil and electoral processes and literally trying to rig the outcome of the 2020 election is a direct threat and attack on our government and on our democracy. And it is ignoring the voice of every single American citizen that voted in the 2020 election. You and everybody around this room and anybody at home, if you voted in the 2020 election, Trump tried to make your vote null by installing fake certificates of ascertainment to make himself the president again. Okay. And that is the worst internal attack that we have had on our country since the Civil War.
Okay, I don't agree, but you guys can vote me out now.
I think his point that he just made, it has some volatility to it. You know, it holds some weight, but I feel personally the Democrats did the exact same thing with this election right now. Who voted for Kamala Harris to be the representative of the Democratic Party? Not Steve. I didn't put in no vote for that. I can promise you that. I didn't. Hey, that was my biggest thing. I was like, okay, they're going to hold an election so we can see who's going to be the candidate for the Democratic Party. And they said, here she is. Kamala Harris, and here everybody was, shout out. I was pissed. If we talking about elections, nobody elected Kamala Harris to be the representative of the Democratic Party. And we can say, you know, they were rushing, they was doing all this. We all saw the downfall of Joe Biden before now. They waited until 3 months for maybe not only 3 months before we were supposed to vote in November to say that we're not going with Joe anymore. Whose fault is that? I'm sure they had plenty of other options than Kamala Harris. I didn't vote for Kamala Harris to be the Democratic nominee at all. So if we gonna say that that's the reason, his point is invalid. I didn't see no democratic process go down for choosing Kamala Harris to be the Democratic nominee. Y'all just bandwagon on with everybody else saying, yeah, hoop, hurrah. Maybe if I would have got to vote for it and lost, then I could be fair. You know, I would be fair with it and say, okay. But that's some bull. I didn't get a choice in this at all. I don't care who would have been up there. At least I would have had a choice. I didn't have a choice in this. And I said it before. There was two people up there I didn't want, and they was both from California because I don't like the way California is panning out. And she was one of them. That point, invalid. That point's not invalid. I understand why you feel the way that you feel, but like I said, both parties is doing exactly what you over there saying that the Republicans aren't patriotic for. They tried to take your vote. Yeah, the Democrats definitely took that vote. Some bull, y'all. I'm telling you.
Hello. Nice to meet you. Okay, so really bold, clear statement that Democrats are very patriotic. Let's talk about the actions of the Democrats being very glorious and loving our country.
Well, I would like to clarify.
Yeah,
my claim is not that Democrats are very patriotic. It is that they are more patriotic than Republicans, but I apologize for interrupting you.
Okay, no, but
that's some bull. More than, less than, I don't care. This is some bull.
I would like clarity on what are those actions, because in my understanding of Democrats being really patriotic is destroying the nuclear family, burning down flags, burning down buildings. I mean, we see just destruction in our cities. Did you see the trash and all the homelessness going out in LA? What is patriotic about supporting all of that? What is patriotic about supporting all the drugs that are coming in, all the things that we're allowing, the human sex trafficking, allowing all these things and policies going on? Like, what is patriotic about that? What screams "I love America" of people?
You said that Democrats support, right?
Hey, I agree with her. Ain't none of that patriotic. Ain't none of it patriotic. I kind of like this video already. I get to trash on both parties. Hold on now. I like this video already.
No, I'm just asking, what are the patriotic acts that show? Because what patriotism means to me is kneeling for those who have sacrificed for our country. My father has served 30 years in the military, right? That is 30 years that he is not getting back, that he has fought for his country, laid down his life for. What is patriotic that the Democrats are doing, that are saying, hey, I'm going to lay my life down and not be egotistic and individualistic, and I'm going to serve and look out for others, look out for the next generation? What is it? So that's what I'm asking, to make that statement clear. What does that look like at the Democratic Party?
I actually think that
I kind of want to rebuttal her, because my dad too served in the military, and I can understand why people would feel that way when someone kneels. But I think that the kneeling was more about the injustice that American has shown to Black people in general than disrespecting the troops. 100%. That's what that whole kneeling process, the whole kneeling thing was about. I don't think it had anything to do with being, if you had patriotism or not, being patriotic. It had nothing to do with that. I think kneeling is patriotic because you're standing up for something. You know, you're standing up for something that you feel like is wrong in America, and that's one thing that I definitely see that is wrong with the Republicans. Y'all think just because, let's be real, America first and all that, y'all be lying. Y'all, half of y'all is lying with that. Half of y'all is lying. Because you don't even put the people that's in America. Black people are part of America. You do know that, right? Black people are a part of America. So if you want to say America first, if you have Americans that are being prosecuted, how is that America first. That's why I said, y'all, it's a lie on both sides. Who's more patriotic than the other? Nobody. Ain't no side patriotic. I don't know why y'all over here acting. Everybody want to be so gung-ho on this side's more patriotic than that side. It's not true. It's not true.
That's a great question. And the answer to your question would be a fight to protect and preserve the state of our democracy. I think that you listed off a whole cohort of claims there that were typically engaged in by Democrats that have been anti-patriotic, such as burning the flag, such as burning down buildings in the riots. And I agree with you, right? I think that those are clear displays of anti-patriotic behaviors. Do I necessarily disagree with them all the time? No, I don't think that it's wrong to burn the American flag if it's in protest of actions of the American government. But my claim here is that there's nothing less patriotic than supporting Donald Trump, a man that has already tried to destroy our country internally by overthrowing the results, or sorry, attempting to overthrow the results of the 2020.
Okay, I completely understand that.
He had me going there for a second until he started talking about Donald Trump overthrowing the election, man. He was saying some stuff until that point.
Statement. I don't agree with that, but we're not talking about Donald Trump. We're talking about your statement that Democrats are patriotic. So I'm asking about the actions are what, because we can keep tying in Kamala and Donald into this, but that they are not the reason of being a conservative or a Democrat. It's the morals, it's the values and the actions that you are reflecting.
Of course,
that you're
I understand you. And the morals and the values and the actions reflected.
Doing the morals, as a Democrat, as a liberal, what are you reflecting that's benefiting your country?
Of course, great question.
Socialism policies, these individualistic policies, these I want to consume these egotistic policies. These, you should worship in closed doors and proximities. Don't open the Bible in school. Don't say the Pledge of Allegiance. All these things that we see. No, yes, just let me clarify. We'll finish real quick. So all these things that we see, we're being forced as conservatives to shut that down, to be quiet, to be banned. So how are we talking about free speech, freedom of religion, loving, and all this stuff? These are all things that you guys are proclaiming, but
yeah, so do you agree with freedom of religion?
Of course.
So then you wouldn't agree with Trump's attempted Muslim ban?
Again, we're not talking about Trump. I'm asking for policies talking about how our Democrats really
let's go over them. So first, I think that fighting for the freedoms of all 170 million American women by reinstituting federal protections for access to healthcare, that's going to be caring about
abortion.
I think that yes. I think that fighting.
Okay. Just want to make that clear. I'm sorry. I just want to make that clear because there's a lot of.
Okay. Do you mind if I finish?
To do that? No, I just wanted to make that clear so I'm on the same page. You can continue.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I obviously think being in a room surrounded by 20 conservatives, you're not going to look at access to abortion as healthcare. I think.
No, I'm sorry. Continue.
No worries.
This is a dialogue. You want a good, fruitful dialogue? Let's continue. I'm apologizing. I just.
Great. Yeah, and I understand that there's going to be an ideological separation there, but from my side of the aisle, I absolutely think that this is something that should be federally protected. I think that infringing upon women's right to bodily autonomy, bodily integrity, all because they want to preserve the life of a non-sentient, a multicellular life form that doesn't.
Did your mom thought that about you? She was about to she thought that you were just some cells.
My mom when I was where? I mean, it doesn't care what.
Okay, y'all, I do agree with him on that part. I definitely do agree with him to a stance. Like the abortion bans, I think, have gone too far. There's, of course, the line that everyone understands, the big three that we have, but there's still a line that is being crossed right now that's too far. They just let a lady die in Georgia because the doctors were scared they were going to get put in jail. So they just sit there and let her die. It's too far. It's too far. Yes, Republicans, it's too far. And letting that happen, you're losing the patriotism race. You're losing it because that is too far. That's what I'm saying. Republicans, you and Democrats both go too far with a lot of this stuff. You go way too far. And to be calling yourself, I'm patriotic because we're banning abortion, but at the same time, when you do that, I understand your point. But when you go too far with it, to the fact that this lady is about to die and we're not going to let the doctors help her, too far. Too far. That's where the line needs to be drawn. But there is no line on either side.
But she thought I was that.
So you were just a bunch of cells. So that's what you're just believing in your claim.
Well, I mean, well, my particular claim was the reason why I'm pro-choice is because I don't value the life of a uni or multi-cell.
But you have life.
That doesn't have the ability to
make that change. You get to make that choice by having life. And someone that doesn't have that voice to say like, oh, that's just a bunch of cells, just abort it. Where does that stand? How is that patriotic? How is that loving America?
Yeah, because it protects access to healthcare. It protects the
killing babies, killing children. Okay.
Okay. So do you think abortion's murder?
Yes.
Okay. So do you think
I'm making that statement very clear.
Well, so do you think that some women with IUDs are murderers then? Because it is the case in some contexts. An IUD will allow for conception to occur, meaning there's a unique human life there, but then it will prevent its implantation into the uterine lining, killing it?
I don't support or believe in any of that.
To be fair, that wasn't the question I asked you. I asked you if they were murderers.
Yeah, he's taking it far. See, here we go. Here we go with the y'all take it too far every single time. Take it too far. Here he go. Taking it to the far edge again. That's why I'm telling y'all. In a lot of these topics, everyone takes it too far when the truth is in the middle. The truth is very much in the middle. You fighting for this, they fighting for that. You're both fighting for too far. It's in the middle. Always, it's more in the middle. Let's be real. These folks, y'all, that's what I'm saying. On both sides, y'all are ridiculous and should be ashamed in yourself with a lot of this stuff. Hey.
I have no comment on that.
Well, didn't you just say that abortion was murder because it was killing a unique human life? Yeah. IUDs can and do kill unique human life. So wouldn't this make women with IUDs murderers?
Well, I, again, have no comment on that.
Okay, well, see, now I can just reflect everything you were just asking me back to you.
Yeah,
how can you stand for the
you're not going to answer the question that I have asked you about. Again, how are these
flags
going to be more patriotic?
Okay. Well, I'd like to make it clear for the record that you didn't add a comment on that because you knew that
you support killing babies. Okay, good. We're going to talk about IUD. Let's move on forward. What other actions have you seen that the Democratic Party has just showed? Again, I love America.
Of course, right? So, I mean, if you want to talk about...
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for getting them out of there. Get them out of there. This is a whole bunch of bull. They're arguing over who's more patriotic when both sides is trash.
All right. So you said that Democrats are more patriotic than Republicans?
Yes. Because
so I would like to hear. So how would you describe the epic failure with the Biden administration? And how would you see it as being patriotic in the way that we left Afghanistan?
Well, if you want to reference our Afghanistan pull.
Oh, okay, y'all. She came with some bars. I will admit that pullout was horrible. It was horrible. America got embarrassed when it came to that pullout. I will admit that right there was not it. Both sides coming at it, they chomping at each other for show. But that was not it. That in that pullout, nah, that was not it. That was a bad look for America for sure.
Pullout is not being patriotic. Well, we should blame that on Trump because he's the one that organized the pullout.
That's actually wrong. He didn't.
He did.
I know the lawyers that worked with JAG for the operation, and it was
they fact checking. Oh, I like this. Yo, they fact checked here, man. Y'all, they fact checked. That's what they needed to do at that debate. They fact checked. Hold on. Former President Trump signed an agreement with the Taliban in February 2020 to remove all U.S. troops from the country within 14 months. In April 2021, President Biden announced he would pull all troops out of Afghanistan by September 11, 2021, taking full responsibility. Oh, bars. That was not patriotic. She got him for that. She got him on that. That is not patriotic.
It was a long strategic pullout over the course of several years. It was the Biden administration that booked when they were going to leave. It was their operation with the military complex under Austin that pulled that out. it was an epic failure. So are you agreeing that it was a failure?
It was a failure.
Okay, well, I mean, if you seemingly know more than me
Yeah.
about the pullout from Afghanistan, as
failure.
far as I'm aware, that was organized under by Trump's administration.
Do you see giving the Qatari embassy to the Taliban as patriotic?
Well, I would like to just finish off here real quick. So you seemingly know more than me about our pullout from Afghanistan. I was under the
Do you
impression.
see
Yes.
what happened at Bagram Air Force Base as patriotic?
Okay, ma'am, do you mind if I finish? Is that
We'll
fine?
see. We'll see. See if I can interrupt you. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, just what I had hoped to say there was you seemingly know more than me about our pullout out of Afghanistan.
It was one of the largest events that happened after Biden took office, and also one of what I would consider one of the worst and most humiliating for America.
Okay. Well, if I can't like finish my statements, I don't see how we're going to be able to have a productive conversation.
Do you know how many people are left? American citizens are left in Afghanistan?
I do not know how many American citizens are left in Afghanistan.
There you go. No, I don't.
Are you familiar with any of the planes that have gone back to try and pull some of these people out?
No, I'm not.
Do you know
No.
who's operating
No.
these planes?
So-
Do you know that the federal government isn't doing that, that it's nonprofit organizations, and that a lot of those nonprofit organizations were grounded in other countries and not allowed to enter in
Okay.
for
So,
pullout operations?
all right, let's look at the
So
pullout.
patriotically speaking,
If I can't speak.
is that
then-
something
Hey.
that's patriotic to you? Is leaving someone behind
Raise the
patriotic?
flags. Raise the
Okay.
flags.
Well,
She
if
won't
you will
shut
allow me to
up.
speak without.
I'm waiting for you.
Yeah.
You're very quick with everybody else. Come on.
If you will allow me to
Go
speak without
ahead.
interruption, we'll be able to have a hopefully productive conversation.
Come on. Point.
Okay.
Let's
Well, I'm seriously, I'm not going to be able to make a point if you keep interrupting me. Like that's just like we gotta.
No, you're stalling. You're stalling. Make your point. Was it patriotic?
Okay,
Asking
dude.
you a yes or no. Was that patriotic for you?
Okay.
Were you embarrassed?
Okay,
Do you have
I'm
family
not.
that's in the
I'm not going to be
military?
able to give you a yes or no answer. I'm going to have to give you a fleshed out answer. I will address your point if
A
you could.
flushed out answer.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. That flashed out answer, y'all know that's very Democrats. They can't answer yes or no. Democrats can't give you no straight answer. You got to get a nice, full, flushed out answer. You're not gonna get a yes or no. I'm gonna tell you the answer to her question that he should just say, and then just let her yap on off and not say anything else until they raise the flag and get her out there. Because that's what I do. I would have said, okay, the pullout was not patriotic, and then sat there just like this. Just like this. Let it yap. Because honestly, you don't want to hear what I got to say. Just let it yap. She can say go, and I'll be looking around like, for what? Because you just want to hear yourself talk. I say, honestly, just go ahead and yap off all the facts that you want to yap off until they get tired and raise their flags. Because she will not shut up. He can't say nothing. But he do want to say his little fleshed out whole spiel. When I'm telling you, I wouldn't even have no spiel. I say, yeah, that was bad that was a bad look for America. Bad, yeah. And then stop right there. Nothing else will be said from me. Please let me talk. Nah, ain't none of that. If you want to keep interrupting, go ahead. You ain't got to hear from me no more. Until they raise these flags, I wouldn't say nothing. Not a word.
Answer. You don't have a yes or no on patriotism, leaving people
Okay.
behind in Afghanistan.
So if you
the
will,
war that we spent over 20 years.
you're still not allowing me
fighting?
to talk here. Do you mind if I
I'm
finish?
waiting.
Do
Yes
you-
or no?
Like this, y'all.
Well, it's not a yes or no question.
It
I
is
have
a
to
yes
give
or
you a
no
fully
question. I
fleshed out
asked you
answer.
yes or no. It's very
If you will-
direct. Yes
if you will-
or no.
Okay, so what
Was
you were
it
trying to do is you're
patriotic?
trying to force me into a
Was
yes or no
it
question when I can't even respond to the
patriotic?
claims that you've
Was
made.
it No, you're dancing around the question
Okay,
because you don't want to
okay,
answer it because
okay.
it's going to make you look bad.
So if
It
the
was
Afghanistan,
not patriotic. I think any American citizen can tell that it was not patriotic. It made us look bad. It was embarrassing. We all had doubts on what was going to happen under this administration, just based on that alone. And the fact that we still have people there, that's embarrassing.
okay, all right. So if the Afghanistan pullout were to have occurred as the way that you described it, it would have been anti-patriotic. It would have been bad. 13 service members lost their lives. I don't think that they deserve to do that. I'm under the impression that Donald Trump had organized that pullout while he was president. It was
Never.
executed under the Biden-Harris administration.
Nope.
You're saying that's false. We'll leave it up to the fact
JAG
checkers.
attorneys
And then I'd
operated
also,
that,
please,
and they
please,
didn't use
yo, hey, please,
Yo.
just let me finish, please. So
Oh,
sorry for cussing. You could cut that out. Please just allow me to finish here.
that's not patriotic.
I wouldn't be.
Okay,
I wouldn't
so
be sorry.
I would still say that attempting to overthrow our federal government with the use of a coup to rig an election would be less.
What would you say to somebody? What would you?
Please get her up. Please get her up. Dang, that lady ain't say. She kept yapping at the mouth, y'all.
Hey, welcome down. How you doing?
Okay, so I feel like a lot of what this question is holding is what is in the best for the American people, right?
Yes.
And like what is the most patriotic thing.
I like that.
And I feel like a lot of what has been discussed today, because I've heard it and a lot of people have said it, is, and then what you have addressed a lot is you don't think Trump is the best candidate, right? And then on top of that, I feel like the problem is with a lot of people right now is there's a lot of issues, a lot of hot topics, a lot of things that we could go over. And I think the problem is when we're thinking about what is the best thing for the American people, a lot of the past 4 years have gone astray and gone to garbage.
Okay. And would you be able to demonstrate to me like how you think the Biden and Harris administration has negatively impacted your life or the lives of other American citizens?
I feel like there's a lot of agendas that you've clearly want to talk about agendas, but in terms of like how they did, well, patriotically, let's talk about what happened in Hawaii. Like Trump supported a lot, or sorry, not Trump, Biden spent more money with Ukraine than what was happening in burning people in Hawaii.
Do you know why?
And then on top of that,
to Ukraine?
Sorry.
Do you know why we've sent money to Ukraine?
Why we sent money to Ukraine?
Because of the Budapest Memorandum. We signed a denuclearization agreement with you.
Billions of dollars.
Yes.
To people that are not even Americans.
And on top, tell you why.
Oh yeah, okay.
So that's because of the Budapest Memorandum that we signed with them in the 1990s, stating if they give up their nukes, we'll defend them from a foreign entity if they're invaded. That's what they did. Us sending Ukraine funding and weapons is nothing more than the U.S. upholding our contractual end of an agreement that we made in the 90s.
Okay. I know. Yeah.
Hey, you know, they were doing their thing. Let's hear what the last dude got to say.
Well, it looks like you are going to be finishing the episode off. We have 30 seconds on the clock.
I got 30
I'm not
seconds.
Be able to respond to anything that you say, so take it away.
Yeah, one thing that you said about patriotism. I mean, I go to Trump rallies and I see people holding up American flags versus if you go to a Democrat convention, you see nobody holding up an American flag. Maybe like one person or two people there will hold up an American flag. So patriotism to me is being proud of being American, being proud to being from this country. Like I'm proud from being in this country. My family can't escape communism from Cuba. And they
Find communism with your last 3 seconds?
They came here for a better opportunity in loving America. And that's what patriotism is about.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Yeah. On both sides. Trash, y'all. Trash. That's what I'm saying. They was chomping each other out. Now, let me tell y'all, for sure, the only thing that the Republicans have an up on when it comes to being more patriotic is lowering taxes pretty much for everybody. I see everybody get something when the taxes are lowered. Only thing when it comes to society or social issues, both sides suck. The Republicans don't care about people half the time. It's a lot of people that suffer. And the Republicans act like they just don't care. Then on the total opposite end, the Democrats, they don't care neither. Let's be real. They're just going to put you on government support so that you can continue to vote for them and vote for them and vote for them and vote for them. They're creating a whole class, especially when it comes down to black people. Let's be real. The Democratic Party has ruined black families. Ruined black families. In all, across the board, the American government has ruined black families through crime bills on both sides, through wars on drugs, on both sides. Are you kidding me? And then if you go to everybody want the history of this party, the history of that party, both history of each party sucks. I feel like the Democratic history is definitely questionable. And then we say they switched. But when they switched over and all the black people became dependent on the government for everything, I think that's even worse than what was going on. Like, let's be real. You went with the Democrats so that you could have the power to vote, which honestly, it was bilateral. You know, both parties voted for that. But you went with the Democrats so that you could get all the welfares and social this and social that, kicked men out the home. Come on, y'all. Y'all can't tell me that is anything patriotic about anything that the American government got going on now. And y'all arguing over whether Democrats or Republicans are more patriotic. I tell them both of y'all can go somewhere. Because you may have this, you may have that, but y'all can't even find nowhere to be in the middle where most Americans are. That's how I feel on that, man. That's exactly how I feel on that. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it. So make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Let me know how you feel about it. Who's more patriotic? Who's more patriotic? Because I'm very much, I can't say which side is more patriotic, except when it comes to this money thing. When it comes to money, I will tell you that the Republicans are definitely more patriotic. No taxes all the way. You feel me? No taxes all the way. I don't want government support. You know, a little bit is good, but to the extent that they got it, X no. To the extent, no, not it. But when it comes to social justice, the same on both sides. Hey, yeah. So make sure y'all like, subscribe, and leave a comment, man.